Hey, everybody, we're back again. This time, our 2000 movies. We're going to take a look at the most overrated films. Always a fun category for us to get into, to get even with some of these lofty films that have been put on the pedestal for one reason or another, but maybe we just don't see it that way. So, anyway, Trey's here, Doc's here, Sean's here, Brian's here, excuse me. We're all here and we're all having a good time. So let's dive right in to this category. Trey, your top 5 most overrated flicks of the 2000s.
All right. Hopefully we don't offend too many people in this, but I'm not going to make any guarantees. But um, I kind of spread the love across genres on mine. So I'm going to start off kind of in the horror genre. This is somehow a franchise that I don't even know how many movies they're up to, 5 or 6. It's going to be the original Final Destination. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. I watched it around Halloween time last year, and it's something weird about that. I think that late 90s, early 2000s period, I find that movies there didn't age as well. I don't know if it's the awful fashion. I don't know what it is, but this movie, it's not scary for one. And two, it's just a convoluted, just terrible, terrible acting performance. If you haven't seen it, you're not missing much. I don't know what made them be able to keep getting approved for new movies. But,
my daughter would call movies like that. She says they're convenient, Dad. Just, I can't explain it any other. It's like that's the perfect way to explain movies like that.
That is a great word right there, Brian. But next we're going to go to another franchise. And I really enjoy the first film in this, but for how I put this on here because of how great the cast is and what a disappointing result it was. I'm going Ocean's 12.
Nice.
Ocean's 11, really enjoy the whole heist theme. It's Vegas, it's very gripping, but Ocean's 12 comes up, man, and it just feels long. And with the cast in here, I mean, you got Clooney, you got Pitt, you got Matt Damon, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Julia Roberts. I mean, all A-list heavy hitters. And I think what went wrong, they did 3 heists in 3 different places, and it was just a messy production, in my opinion. Ocean's 13 was decent, but nothing will top Ocean's 11. But Ocean's 12, I've seen some people I know say that this is their favorite of the series. I'm like, were we watching the same movie?
Wow. Definitely not.
No.
Number 3, and this is the first time I think I'm gonna maybe ruffle feathers of people in this video, because I know Rich is a fan of this. I am going with Into the Wild. Sean Penn.
I am a fan. Good.
Sean Penn directed this, and oh man, I just the main actor. I think that's really what did it for me. It just came across as bland kind of to me. Sean Penn's direction, and then the acting from the head honcho here. It's Emil Hirsch. And I like him. I actually seen him in the show Lords of Dogtown and Alpha Dog as well. But this movie, man, it didn't work for me. It's based on a true story of a guy who was going to hike to Alaska, and kind of had those themes that were shooting through there of following your own path and whatnot. But the way that it was transferred from this autobiography, or the book that it was based off of, to here, it just left you kind of questioning why this guy was doing this at certain points. But I think I'm going to get Rich back on my good side for my number 2 most overrated film, and that's going to be a film that grossed $400+ million. M. Night Shyamalan's Signs from 2002. Rich, I know you're not a fan of this, and I wasn't either, man. Mel Gibson, what else? We had Joaquin Phoenix. They couldn't save this. lame plot, a dialogue that just didn't work. Yet again, the thrills weren't really there for me. I don't know if it's the poorly aged, like little alien creatures with figuring out our special effects or whatnot. And I don't know, maybe at this point, the whole M. Night Shyamalan kind of twists and turns and wackiness had maybe run its course a bit, trying to capture that Sixth Sense, which is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that had run its course a little bit. But my number one here is gonna be it's a film I think has been touched on in a previous video from a couple of y'all on sci-fi. It did not work for me. I'm going Steven Spielberg's Minority Report. Yet again, you're gonna notice, I think most of these films were in that early part of the decade. And yet again, I wasn't a fan. I think the special effects aged a bit poorly. Movie felt long, and yet again, kind of felt like Spielberg was just trying to throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see, you know, and try to bring it together. It ended up a bit convoluted for my taste. You know, Cruise does a fine job in that, but it's not the worst movie on my overrated list, but it's the most acclaimed movie I had up in here that I wasn't a fan of. I much prefer AI, artificial intelligence, from Spielberg, if we're going into that kind of sci-fi route. But those are my overrated. Leave your comments down below. Tell me how wrong I am.
I like your pick of Signs, because that's an overrated for me. Not on my list, but in my heart and mind.
If we only would have known that all we needed was a coupon to Dasani to defeat aliens.
That's right.
Hey, you know, we were just wasting our time.
That's it.
All this weaponry, man, all we needed was a case of water.
I actually paid money to see Signs because I was a fan of The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. So here I go to see Signs,
Right.
thinking it's going to be, you know, a hat trick. No dice.
You're
Didn't
part
work.
of that 400 million, Rich.
Yeah, I know. I chipped into that mess. I do like Into the Wild, although I can understand your criticism of it. It's definitely a slow-moving film, and exactly what did motivate him to do what he did, I'll never know. It's kind of an odd film, but it did happen. So I give it props for that. But interesting pick. I like your list. Very good. Doc, what do you have for us today?
Very good. Very good. Good. I like Trey. You're throwing that there, buddy. Hey, Minority Report, you're giving Rich some stuff. I will say that as much as I don't think Signs is a classic among or anything like that, I don't think it's that much overrated, in my opinion. I think more because I like the characters. I like Joaquin Phoenix. I like Mel in this movie, and a little side story with Mel and his wife. I don't mind that part of it. That's just my 2 cents. But I can see why you think it might be a little overrated, but I don't think it's that bad of a flick, to be honest with you. But I'll show you a bad flick out of the gate here, buddy. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. So we're in the 2000s now, right? So if you go back and you watch some of Rich's old videos, you're going to go back into the 90s and you're going to find out who I really like and who I really don't like if you get through these things. So you know I love Michael Bay. I'll tell you that much right now, tongue in cheek. But you also really know that I really have I don't know how to put this here. Roland Emmerich is probably the guy making the most money in Hollywood that does not deserve to be making a dime. This guy is putting out garbage. I had lots to choose from garbage wise. I could have put Bay in here. I wanted to do a combo. I could have put like 8 movies in here as number 5. Like I said, Roland Emmerich, I don't have much love for this guy making a lot of money in Hollywood. So, and he doesn't deserve it. So this guy made $400 million on The Day After Tomorrow. And I could have had 2012 in here. I really wanted both, if you want the truth, you know, because that's $1.3 billion that this piece of crap is made between the 2 of these movies, man. But I guess I like John Cusack a little bit more than I like Dennis Quaid, so I kept him aside. I guess. Yeah. So, you know, The Day After Tomorrow, I don't mind. I love disaster movies. I love, you know, monsters, and I want to be entertained when I go see a flick of that kind of nature. I want to. Yeah. This is not a good disaster movie, man. If you get through the first half hour, 45 minutes of this movie to get to the disaster, you're stuck for the next hour and a half, man, or next hour and change watching a story of Dennis Quaid getting to his kid because he's in the marble building in New York City. This is what a story. It's just garbage. I'm sick of garbage, I guess, as I get down to it. You know, If I'm going to see a disaster movie, show me the disaster. Give me Twister. As far-fetched and everything else,
Yeah,
I'll watch
yeah.
Twister over that in a heartbeat 10 times. So The Day After Tomorrow, just number 5 for overrated. A lot of people spend a lot of money to get up to $500 million on that piece of crap, but number 5. Number 4, here comes Julia again, making another appearance. So it is Erin Brockovich, man. It's not like it's a crap movie in one sense or anything like that, but is it overrated? You bet it is, man.
Probably.
This is not a nice topic, this movie. This is nothing special about this. And it just seems to be a big, cheerful, like in your face, popping out everywhere. And this is how I'm going to get my way to get this whole thing to make it work. And it's just, she won the Oscar for this over Bernstein, and friggin' Requiem for a Dream is a joke.
I know. What the hell was that?
That's stupid.
That makes the list. It makes a list just for that. Anything else that goes with this movie, sure, it's a fine story and everything else. Albert Finney, what are you doing in this movie, buddy? Get out of it.
Yeah.
You're way better than this. I don't know, man. Erin Brockovich it's on TV. I keep on walking, man. That's all I'm telling you. This is not worth my effort. So I don't want to get into it too much. Number 3 is The Terminal. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have yet to see that movie. I said that's settled.
It's
Buddy,
hideous.
I'm going to help you. There's 2 hours. I saved you. And if you don't watch Erin Brockovich, it's like 3.5. So The Terminal is, I think it's a bore, personally. I was not attached to the character at all.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it meant nothing to me. I know it's loosely based on a true story and everything else. This just not do it, man. This is not Hanks and Spielberg getting together, making a masterpiece or doing something special here. This is not Saving Private Ryan. This is nothing that they've done together in the past. They've collaborated on a few things, even produced things together, which are much better than these intertwining stories of all these different things that doesn't mean anything to the whole story. It's like a wannabe comedy that you can see coming a mile away, and it just doesn't work. Maybe it comes down to the script writing, and in a lot of cases it does, but even Hanks wasn't, anything special in this movie or anything like that. And there was a lot of accolades for this thing that it's Hanks and Spielberg are together.
They're really pushing that actually on it just came to Netflix this month.
Did it?
And I see it all over the front screen of Netflix, and I was like, I need to add that to my watch list. But
It's god awful.
No, that's if you're bored, or I don't even know what to tell you, man. You got to be in a mood. I'm not saying it's like they're not awful, but I mean they're just not. They're overrated, man. This is.
I
And number
remember
2 is
when
going
I
to go
did
right
my-
to Chicago.
I did a Spielberg top 10 or best to worst. The
Yeah.
Terminal was his worst. Absolute bottom rung. So Trey, I would say see it, and then you'll have something to look at as far everything else will be better that Spielberg ever did.
Yeah, you got lots to
Thanks.
choose from before you get there, man. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So I'll jump into number 2. My number 2 is Chicago.
I hate musicals anyway, Doc. You got my vote right
What
there.
a choice.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Moulin almost made it too. I'm not going to say that, but
I'll pick up that slack for you later.
I got a feeling you might be on my side here, Rich. So, but
Big time.
Chicago.
Did
I
they
don't
win Best
know.
Picture?
It won Best
It
Picture.
might have. I think it probably did.
It did.
It did.
It won.
Wow.
This wins Best Picture. I did a little research on this thing. I've seen the movie, so I mean, bad on me, I guess. But I can't get that back either. So this movie is like 100, and this is an hour and 54 minutes. This movie. It has an hour and 10 minutes of music.
Yeah.
There's 40 minutes of acting in this movie, man, and or script or something along those lines. I mean, this movie
Plus-
won. This movie won an Oscar for set direction. Do you know what came out that year? Lord of the Rings Part 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder what has a better set.
Yeah.
I wonder. Anybody? Come on, Jesus. Just, they're trying at this time in Hollywood, they're actually trying to help. They're trying to do something for women in Hollywood at this time. They're giving them either really good roles or they're trying to put them to the forefront. They're trying to do something pretty good. I'll give them credit for this.
Yeah.
but they're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks here, man. And you're in some cases it does. I find like my best actresses, there's a lot of really good parts that did take place in this decade, and it was really powerful performances. We've already touched on Hillary in the past here.
Yeah.
This is not that neighborhood, man. This is not how you. It separates different things in the genre, and I don't think it's really right. It's an overrated movie for me.
Great cast.
Yeah, Richard Gere, another one.
Richard Gere, Brian's boy is in there, and you got
John C.
Renee
Reilly.
Zellweger, Catherine Zeta, John C. Reilly. It's got some good actors in it. It's just,
John C. Reilly is the best thing in that movie.
Yeah, what's he, a puppet or something? I forget what he does. He's got some...
I mean, at least the guy can sing and dance. That's really him.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. My number one overrated movie is Lost in Translation.
Oh my God.
That hurts.
Doc.
I'm sorry.
Holy shots fired, man.
That's a shot to the heart. Tell us how you feel, Doc.
I'll tell you how I feel, Rich. Are you ready, man?
Hit me. Come on, let's go.
A middle-aged man who's not really middle-aged. This story I just think is so far out there, man. I could care less about both of these people, to be honest with you. They mean absolutely nothing to me watching this movie.
Wow.
He's some sort of washed up kind of actor hanging out in Japan. Here she is flying on over here just as a newlywed. And they end up hooking up and they got to get together and adapt to the society. And they're there for a week. This is the story? You got to be kidding me. Bill Murray is so dry. He looks no different than he did in Groundhog Day or anything else. You saw him in like a stretch of 10 years here. He was the same character, and here he is again. A couple more quippy one-liners, and that's about it. Forgetful, passable, definitely overrated.
Awesome.
Listen, if you take my list, I've saved you 10 hours of your life. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Love seeing Shawn fired up like this.
Yeah, that's,
I know. Look at that, man. Holy.
Yeah,
I like most of your list. I just disagree with your number one, but the rest of it's solid, I gotta say.
Thanks.
No problem. Brian, you have any gut punches for us, or?
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right. All right, Brian.
All right. Listen, I could have put these in any order.
Okay.
I got to tell you, number 5, though, I'm going to go ahead and put the Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
I absolutely, listen, as a Mason, it's preposterous some of the stuff they say that Masons are guilty of doing. And it's the most ridiculous stuff. And I hate being like told everything that's going on in the movie from a first person standpoint. And Tom Hanks just sits there and basically tells you everything that's going on in the movie, even though you're watching the movie, you don't need him to tell you all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've never read the book. I've seen the movie once and I can't watch it through again. I just thought it was just totally ridiculous and stupid. I just didn't get to see the appeal, and it was so hyped up.
I know,
big time
movie, and I haven't even seen the sequel to it. Why don't you know what the hell it's even called?
That's horrible too.
It's horrible too. Well,
Yeah.
then that solves that one. That's my number 5. Number 4 is Fast and the Furious.
Ooh.
I don't like any of those movies at all. I've only halfway watched the first one. I just don't see how you can build a movie around Vin Diesel as your prime, acting, charisma guy in a movie. He just doesn't. And to even like, they made such a big deal about like, oh, we lost Paul Walker as an actor. I'm like, really? What the hell has Paul Walker even been in besides the Fast and the Damn Furious? I said, I've not seen him in anything that's Oscar worthy. It's like they just made it such a big deal that we lost Paul Walker.
I wouldn't recognize Paul Walker in a lineup. I don't know who he is.
I don't know. What the hell? So Fast and the Furious is number 4. Number 3 is King Kong. That damn movie's like 3.5 hours long. It is so awful. And like, how much of it's even like Kong doing anything, right?
Oh.
Most of it's just these stupid humans walking around on a monster island wondering why they're dying. I'm like,
that's the one with Jack Black, right? Isn't that the one with Jack
it's got
Black?
Jack Black in it. And
Yeah.
it's just, it's awful. The acting's horrible in it. I didn't like anything about the movie at all. It's ridiculous. The special effects were nothing mind-blowing, considering that, I imagine Peter Jackson would have been handed the keys to the kingdom as far as being able to do
Big
special
time.
effects, and
Yeah.
it fell flat to me. Number 2 is any sequel to Saw.
Woo!
I don't even understand. I didn't even like the first movie, and I'm like, what? You really can come up with like 7 different ways to like torture people to death with sharp instruments. Oh, come on, that's just
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And I mean, the first one had your boy in there, Rich, right? The
Boy,
first
that's
Saw,
got
didn't it
Carrie.
have your boy from Princess Bride in it or something?
Oh, Carrie Elwes. Yeah, I can't stand him.
No, he's your buddy there.
That's my
Rich's
boy,
boy.
all right.
So, but number 1 is any of the sequels to Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl. The Black Pearl was fine. The first one I could tolerate. Johnny Depp did a great job as Captain Jack Sparrow, but every movie after that, honest to God, I had no idea what the hell was going on in any of the subsequent sequels. I had no idea. It was just mind blowing that they managed to get all this cast back. And I don't think I bet you if you asked, if you walked up to pick one of them, Jeffrey Rush, and go, "Hey man, what was the third one about?" He'd be like, "I don't know. The check
I
cleared."
have no idea.
The
That was a payday. They all cashed a big paycheck for that nonsense.
Exactly. So I mean, I think all those. I mean, they were overhyped movies, and I thought all of them were way overhyped. I mean, everybody said they were great, and I was like, no, I can live without them.
I can't believe the shade you're throwing at Keith Richards like that, man. That's incredible.
Yeah. All right, I got some dandies here. Number 5 is the same as Brian's number 5, the Da Vinci Code. I'm so glad you brought it up. And this is a Ron Howard debacle. I mean, an absolute waste of time, dull, overhyped, like you said, and uninteresting schlock, I call it. It's just garbage. And whatever that sequel was, which I did see, thinking it would be better, that was just as bad. I'm a big Tom Hanks fan, but he signed on just because it was a bestseller and it was automatic money. He took the money and ran on this. It was horrible. So stay away from the Da Vinci Code if you haven't seen it. My number 4 is a Spike Jonze / Charlie Kaufman film, which I wanted to like because I love the cast pretty much. Adaptation. Oh my God. This movie sucked. Flat out sucked. Nicolas Cage, who's not one of my favorite actors, but Meryl Streep's in it, Chris Cooper, Tilda Swinton, Maggie Gyllenhaal. They got a lot of good actors in here. It's depressing as hell, narcissistic crap, complete junk. I still don't get it. I don't have the balls to watch it again, so I'm staying away from that. My number 3, because Doc picked a musical, I'm picking a musical. Mine is Moulin Rouge, a complete, overblown, colorful zero, as far as I'm concerned. All glitz. There's no substance to this movie at all. They play song. It's supposed to be back in the 30s or 40s, the time period. Yet they're playing modern music. I don't get that at one iota. You got Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor here. It's I wrote down an atrocious atrocity, and that's exactly what that movie is for me. And that was nominated for Best Picture in 2001. The director, Baz Luhrmann, I don't think he's ever done another thing since.
There's a reason.
There's a reason for it. Number 2.
He's
Now, go ahead, Brian.
No, he was the one who did the Gonzo version of Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, Baz Luhrmann.
Which I still have yet to see.
Yeah. It's an
Claire
interesting
Danes.
version,
I'm
to
a
say
big
the
Claire
least.
Danes fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, my number 2, I'm gonna tiptoe around this because I don't want to get myself in any trouble and with the politically correct police out there, but it is Brokeback Mountain. I did not buy this movie for 1 second. It's a love story where 2 guys who in the beginning you don't even know who they are. There's mild character development. All of a sudden they're in the tent and it turns into this hot and heavy romance. I mean, I didn't see it coming for a mile away. Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal, directed by Ang Lee. I thought it was way, way overrated and unjustified. and I've seen a lot of gay films that I like and I can believe in. So it's not that. I have gay friends, gay relatives, the whole 9 yards. This movie did not work. I didn't buy Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal as a couple. I just didn't, flat out. So sorry, guys. That's just the way it is. No, my number one, this actually won Best Picture. I still don't get it to this day. Slumdog Millionaire. Did not like it. One iota. The highlight is the dance sequence at the very end where they're all jamming in the subway or something. But overall, there's this 18-year-old kid from India, and he's a contestant on a version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And
That's right.
I mean, it's mildly entertaining, mildly, but Best Picture winner? No way. They were doing the trying to spread the love around at that point to different ethnic groups and trying to make everybody diverse and this and that. And that's fine, but at least have quality stuff to back it up with. And it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So
see, Hollywood was notorious for that during that time, and the Oscars and everything. I found it really insulting when Denzel won for Training Day, that when they panned to the audience, they only showed black actors' reactions.
Oh, really?
I'm like, you can't even acknowledge that Denzel Washington is just simply a good actor. You have to marginalize it and say he's only a great black actor. That's what I felt like that was like. I said, just acknowledge he's a great actor. You should show everybody's reaction to
I think that's why people don't watch the Oscars anymore, because not only for that kind of reason, but they make up stuff that they missed the first time around. Like, people should have won in the past, and then they give them a token award later on. And it's just ass kissing, flat out. We're tired of it. So they try everything in their arsenal to get more viewers, and they end up getting less every year. It's
every year.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to be, they won't even televise it because nobody's going to watch it. So this is the first year I didn't watch in 50 years. I had no interest in it. I didn't see any of the movies because of COVID, whatever. So anybody have any feedback on Brokeback Mountain or Slumdog? I'd love to hear it.
I've only seen Slumdog once, and honestly, I've not seen Brokeback Mountain, I don't think.
Okay. It may work for you. It just didn't work for me. And I'm a Heath Ledger fan, Jake Gyllenhaal. The supporting actresses are excellent as well. Anne Hathaway's in it. Michelle Williams, they're great actresses.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle Williams is good.
Yeah,
she's done some great stuff. She was in Manchester by the Sea.
That's right.
Yeah,
she was fantastic in that movie.
But in context, I know I'm going to get some crap for it, and I expect to, but it just didn't work. And
I don't mind Brokeback Mountain. I'll be honest with you, Rich. It's an okay film for me. I don't know if it's like Oscar worthy and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think I do think Heath and Jake were both pretty good in that flick, to be honest with you.
They were good in it, but did you buy their romance, or you bought the
as it went along? Sure, okay. I did.
All right, so it's me.
But it's but your Slumdog, I just think it's amazing that all those questions fit like right in that sweet 18-year-old sweet spot. I think that's incredible. To win that, the Slumdog Millionaire, and those questions, just that 18-year-old knew all those answers. I just think that was.
I know. What was that?
Has a little quiz show action to me in there somewhere. I don't know what that's about. But.
There's a lot in Slumdog Millionaire that I liked. I mean, they represented where he came from very well. Those slums, and they gave you the background, but then once it got to the game show, I didn't care much for the story. Then there's some kind of criminal element going on behind the scenes, and a subplot. So
I think on some other list that we'll see throughout the rest of these videos, we're going to talk about different things. Slumdog's a fine movie. I just don't know if it's like Oscar worthy kind of.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
Right? So
Best Picture worthy.
And a lot of people thought Brokeback should have won the year that it came out. And I didn't see it. The year it came out, Crash won. But that's another controversial picture that people don't want to take on. But I like Crash.
Crash is a good movie.
I think it's a solid movie, especially with a lot of the tensions going on today. You look back at that movie, it's a well done movie.
Yeah. It's,
But for
I
some
think you're right.
reason, with the cops and profiling and
All that stuff.
all
Sure.
that stuff that is happening in real life, it's happening in that film, and that film was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
So anyway, we're sidetracked here. That wraps up our look at the overrateds. We're going to be back with some sleeper films. That'll be more positive video, I think. A lot of films that flew under the radar, and we're going to give them some more love. So for my guests, Brian and Doc and Trey, I'm Rich. We will see you in our next video. Thank you very much. Bye.